Please welcome Kuen Tang. In 2012, with the support of 41 volunteers, Kuen became the first quadriplegic person to ascend 8,000-foot Haling Peak near Canmore. In 2013, Quen's proposal of her presentation was accepted with Edmonton's Next Gen to present at Pecha Kucha 16. Pecha Kucha is the Japanese phrase for the sound of chit-chat. And the IDPD Planning Committee is planning a similar event next year. So here to give a little of what we can look forward to is one of the most amazing people I've ever met, Kuen Tang.
Thank you. Amazing by Su Ling Go. Thanks, Su Ling, but keep coming with the compliments after. 12 years ago, I drove up to the top of the Coca-Cola Highway, and there, my car went off a cliff. I broke my neck, shoulder, lower back, wrist, foot, and punctured my lung. I became a quadriplegic. And I smile today. Why do I smile today? I smile because I have friends like Matt Hamer here who came to me one day and said, Kuen, there's a crazy mountain in Canmore. There's no trails. Nobody in a wheelchair has ever gone up it. I know you're afraid of heights. Do you want to climb it? There we were, with the Rocky Mountain Adaptive Sports Center, with Push to Open, and 41 volunteers from the community. We planned our impossible hike. It was a beautiful day to start with, and we were ready. There, can you see it? The top of the peak, 8,000 feet, that's where we're headed. And my work, Worthy Parsons, they were so inspired by all the energy coming from the community, they decided to sponsor this trip. My butt and my back said this was easy for about 5 seconds until we hit the first bump. There were truly no trails. Absolutely. There was only human beings and nature. And there we were. Can you tell? My feet was always above my head as we were climbing at a 45-degree angle or steeper up this 8,000 feet mountain. Imagine the circulation. Imagine the breathing difficulties. Again, we went over rocks. We went over tree trunks, roots, falling trees, and hills at an incredible, incredible height. Not many people can climb this. We also had to weave through trees, between rocks, on the edge, where one side is the cliff and the other is the mountain. There's only a tiny, tiny trail that we made in the middle. I'm smiling, not because the guy in front of me has a cute butt. I'm smiling because we're going up this impossible mountain that someone in a wheelchair, let alone a quadriplegic, has never gone up for. Can you see? Many of the times, the volunteers had to lift me over rocks. There, my friend Chris Ha had to jump because there's no room. If he missed a step, there was. And, ladies and gentlemen, as I promised my volunteers, I will make their butts famous. This is my view as they were pulling me up this incredible depth on a beautiful day. This is about a 2/3 way up this mountain. And here is when the wind blows so hard sometimes, it can blow you off the mountain. All the rocks are loose now. One misstep, all of us falls. And we take a brief moment to look at Canmore, to look at the mountains in BC as we rest before we take our final journey going up. What a trip it was. And here, we're slowly moving up. One side, it's about a 7,000 feet drop. And the other side, loose rocks, and we can fall down any moment. And the volunteers were excited. I was excited. We take one final moment. Take a deep breath, drink some water, re-energize our aching muscles. And my back and my butt really needed the rest. And we were ready. The final climb. Of course, there were some really cute looking boys up in the mountain. And I have to say, hey boys, would you like to take a picture with the world's first quadriplegic woman to climb Mount Holling? They're like, okay. And what beautiful smiles we gave, finally. And now, the final climb. Beside us, over 7,500 feet drop. On the other side, same thing. We were at the peak, on the edge, no trails. Finally making it to the top. I can still feel the wind touching my cheeks. I can feel that energy, that adrenaline, that emotion, and of course, hot tears running down my cheek. What impossible task. And at the end, success. Impossible not. It takes one person to dream. Takes two people to ignite the fire. Takes a company like Worley Parsons to really believe in this. And it takes a whole community of people, strangers, to make the impossible task possible at the end. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you one question. If we can do this and make this impossible task into I'm possible, imagine yourselves, what else is possible? Just ask yourself that question. Is Chris Hott in the room? There he is. Can you run really quickly? I just want to introduce you to some of the people that really made this impossible task possible. Run, Chris, run. We call this man the Iron Legs. If you ever meet him with shorts, you will know. And Jeff Arquette. Jeff works for my company, and without their sponsorship, this trip would not be possible. Do you mind just giving both of them a hand for this great support? Oh. Okay, now picture time. Ladies and gentlemen, again, just ask yourself, what's possible? Thank you.
Kuen Tang, everyone, and the Howling Project. Can you believe that story? I find her so inspiring, and I hope that you do too.